My name's Annika. Phthalo Blue is one of those colours we absolutely love and slightly fear at the same time. They're so vibrant, but they stain like crazy. So I'm looking at a way of removing the fear, the colour, using it, but still being able to lift it. So today we'll be exploring 3 mediums that help us do the job. And one of them really surprised me. To start off with, I've drawn up this chart. This long rectangle here will be for pure phthalo blue. The top 2 squares for the lifting prep, the middle 2 for gum arabic, and the bottom 2 for core watercolor medium. I'm painting the first column here with water only, and then I'll be adding a layer of the medium. To my first test, I'm adding Winsor & Newton lifting preparation. I'm using Arches 300 GSM cold press paper because it makes sense to do experiments on the same type you'd like to use for your painting. So the first thing I need to do is brush a layer of lifting medium over the already damp square, the first one, and then while I'm here, I'll paint the next square with neat lifting medium. In my next example, I'm using Winsor & Newton's Gum Arabic. The gum arabic is thicker and more syrupy, but I'm brushing it over the damp square first, and then while I'm here, I'll brush it over neat onto the next square. For my last medium, I'm using Core's Watercolor medium. The bottle comes with a dropper, which is great because you only need the smallest little bit. And my brush doesn't fit into the bottle either, so I'll just use the dropper to apply some to my brush. Firstly, brushing over the damp square, and then neat onto the next one. And now we have to wait for all this to dry. All these squares are now dry, and I'm going to add as evenly as I can phthalo blue to them all. Firstly, here is phthalo blue on its own. Okay, now we have water first and lifting medium on top. And now only lifting medium. Okay, with our next one, this is water and gum arabic on top. This one is only gum arabic. And this one is water with core watercolor medium on top and only the medium. Okay, so now we need to allow this to dry. My phthalo blue is dry now. And I'm using just a flat brush. This one doesn't have a name on it, but it's just a nice soft sable brush. And trying out the pure phthalo blue. I think this brush had a little bit of something on it. Okay, this is my brush, Phthalo Blue. It's a little bit hard to lift. And then we have water and lifting preparation brushed onto it. And then we have preparation only. And that's been a lot better. Then here we have water with gum arabic on it. So that's worked really well. But as you can see, the texture of the paint isn't very exciting. And that there is gum arabic on its own, and it comes off really, really well. On the third one here, we have water with core watercolor medium on it. And that comes off really nicely. And here we have just watercolor medium. And it's quite exceptional. Everyone has to do really their own experiments to see how you see it. I found the lifting preparation to be the least effective of these three options. But the lifting preparation does still allow a beautiful spread of colour. The gum arabic lifts really well, but the textures maybe over the top, or depending if you'd like a texture like that for something special, it might be ideal. With the core watercolor medium, the lifting properties were exceptional, but I found that there was a slight color shift. So, for the best of both worlds, I thought if this is a watercolor medium and it's meant to really go into water, I have mixed 5 drops of the medium into 50 mils of water. That's not much at all. And with that, I'm just going to wet my brush, apply a bit of water on my palette, and add Phthalo Blue. Nice and thick mix. And now I've painted this. And now I think we should allow this to dry. What I've found in my previous experiments is that having a very small amount of the watercolor medium in water doesn't affect the color. There is no color shift then. But let's just wait and see, and we'll see what happens. Because ideally, if we don't have to brush on a whole lot of medium and do all sorts of stuff, just add 5 drops of something to water, that might be quite ideal. Well, I think so anyway. All right, this patch down here is dry now, not cold at all, and I'm washing my brush. And let's have a look. I'm using the same soft sable brush and brushing over my painted area. Not too much, not scrubbing at all. And if I go over this a little bit more, pretty good. What if I was to add 5 more? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now there are 10 drops in here. Just going to give it a little stir. And I've washed my brush and I'm dipping it into this mixture and coming back onto here. And I just want to see if there's going to be a difference at all. Oh well, still works much the same, but I say maybe we'll give it a second go just to see how white we can get it. And look, that's whiter still. So I really think it's worth experimenting, and that's only with a very soft brush. Earlier, I mentioned the possibility of different reactions to different papers, and here I've done some experiments on the reverse side of Montmartre's cotton rough paper. The reason I chose this paper was only the fact that it's different paper to arches, and just to see if there would be a different reaction. The loops were all done on wet paper. The lifting qualities of pure phthalo are really poor. The gum arabic has been predictable with its very efficient lifting, and although textured, the paper, it's not quite as pronounced as it is on the arches paper. So again, paper does make a difference, and noticeably so with the Winsor & Newton lifting preparation. On this paper, the lifting preparation barely budges the phthalo blue. And finally, the core watercolor medium, which was done on a layer of water with a layer of core on top, let to dry, and the result is quite good. So I'm seeing core watercolor medium as the clear winner here because there's minimum fuss, just a few drops in your water and away you go. You can paint anything you like and lift it too. And that's using soft brushes. So enjoy, do some experiments of your own and see what you come up with.